Hey, how about a Honda tip video? But first, coffee. Alright, today's tip involves poor AC performance, and you may also have a dead battery, so let's get to it. Alright, something I want you to think about if you're having poor AC performance, especially if it's coupled with a dead battery, is your AC compressor clutch relay. So let's go over it. Alright, this is what a typical AC compressor relay looks like on a lot of Hondas. It's just a 4-pin relay. If you want more info on like testing relays and what they do, I'll put a link in the description to another video I did on testing these. Our demo vehicle here is going to be an 8th generation Honda Civic. Right here is going to be our AC compressor clutch relay on this vehicle. Now sometimes on some vehicles you can just pull it out with your fingers. In this case, it's easier with relay pliers like that. We can just reach in there and kind of grab it and pull it out. So if you need to replace it, that's what you can do. But yeah, sometimes they're difficult to grab. But that's where this one's located on this vehicle. Alright, what the heck is a relay and why should I be looking at it for a problem with my AC compressor clutch or an AC problem? Well, basically a relay is a way that we can take a smaller current, in this case it's these two smaller pins right here, to control a larger current, which is these two pins, and those are the two pins that go down to our AC compressor clutch, which on this vehicle is down there. So when you press the button for AC, we are supplying power, and then there's a ground on these two pins right here, and then there's a coil of wire in there, and anytime we run energy through a coil of wire, it creates a magnetic field. That magnetic field, once it's created, closes a little contact switch in there, a little metal switch. It just closes it like that and completes the circuit in between these two copper colored pins right there. Once we complete that circuit, it will send the higher current energy, in this case down to our AC compressor clutch, and that's how this works. Alright, now there are two basic ways that a relay like this can fail. Basically, right now in its normal state it's open, and so it can fail in its open state like that, in which case you press the button for AC and nothing happens. It does not energize the compressor clutch relay. Now the request is there and the computer is controlling this side, but right here we don't have a complete circuit, and so the compressor clutch will not engage. You may see the fans coming on because that's part of the normal request, is when the AC button is pressed, the computer controls the fans, on most cases both fans on most Hondas, and it's going to control the compressor clutch relay. So you may have the fans on, but your compressor clutch is off, and so your AC won't work. So that's one way it can fail. That's probably the most common one, is just it sticks open and doesn't work. But that's not the point of this video. I want to talk about when it sticks closed. When it sticks closed, that means we have power all the time down to our AC compressor clutch relay, and that can wreak havoc on our system. Now, why is it a problem when our compressor clutch relay sticks on? Well, because that compressor is going to be on all the time. It won't be allowed to cycle on and off like these older compressors typically do. So the pressure can build up, especially when these fans are off, because typically the fans are going to be off when the engine computer turns the clutch off and the AC system off for a little bit. And now we've allowed this to continually run. That's going to build up the pressure, and it can actually pop the pressure relief valve on there. If that happens, you may even see some refrigerant vent, and it may look like a little bit of smoke here, and it creates like a loud, obnoxious noise. It's hard to describe, but you can't mistake it whenever you see it. You may even think maybe one of your belts is burning or something, because you'll see something floating up here. But in any event, it's not good when this thing is running, when the fans are off, because yeah, that pressure can just rise way too fast. Now another issue that can come up when that relay is stuck closed is idle fluctuations or RPM fluctuations. The AC compressor, it puts quite a load on this engine, and so the engine computer compensates for that when it's on. And so when the AC compressor is stuck on all the time, it's fooling the engine computer, because the engine computer it thinks it's turning it off, and so it's adjusting the idle, but in reality it's still on, and the engine doesn't know what is going on. So that idle can go up and down, or your RPMs can go up and down when you're driving. So that's definitely something to think about if we have a stuck closed relay. Alright, let's look at a wiring diagram on our demo vehicle here. Right here, this is our under dash fuse box, and this is the compressor clutch relay that I pulled out and showed you on the vehicle. Right here's our AC compressor, this little box here. This is going to be our engine computer right here. Over here is our HVAC computer or control unit, which is inside the vehicle. That's basically where you press the AC on and off. Alright, so if we look at our relay, this squiggly line right here, that's our control side. That's going to be our coil of wire. That's represented by these two right here. Or I should say that would be these two on our relay. And then this thing over here, that's actually a switch. And that's what's working and completing the circuit on these two pins right here on our relay. And so if we follow this wire down, we see it goes to our engine computer, just like that. If we follow the other wire up, it goes around through our ignition switch and ultimately to our battery. So that means this side is power. That means this side, coming from our engine computer, has to be ground. So whenever we press the button on our HVAC controller, it sends a signal over here to our engine computer, and then it activates a circuit in here which provides a ground for this relay. And so that's going to energize our coil of wire, and that's going to close the circuit over here, and that's how this works. And now if we follow the other leg of the circuit, we see it goes, this wire goes down to our AC compressor clutch, and then our compressor clutch is grounded on the AC compressor itself. And then if we follow the other wire, it goes up and around over here and then to our battery. But you notice this one does not go through our ignition switch. This one goes directly to battery, so that's very important. So like I mentioned before, if this switch stays open and it's like it is in its natural state, like it is right now, then we don't provide power down to our compressor clutch, and then it doesn't work. Your fans may work, but the compressor clutch will not work. Now on the other hand, what happens when this thing stays stuck closed? Well, like I said, if we follow this back, it goes directly to battery. So now when it's stuck closed, we are providing current and power to this AC compressor clutch all the time. So this thing is going to be activated all the time. And so like I said, it can build up pressure and cause issues. And when you turn the vehicle off, we still have power, and so that can cause a dead battery. Usually it's going to pull 2 or more amps, and that will pretty much kill your battery overnight. It could also kill your battery depending on the state of charge. It could kill it just, running into the store and then coming back, or maybe leaving it for a couple hours like you went to a movie or something and then came back out and then your battery's dead. And that's because we have power going to it all the time, and that's definitely not good. Alright, a fairly simple way to test these things is we look at our AC compressor and see how it is right now. Let me look down there. And right here, that's basically our clutch where I'm touching. These, you can see that it has these 3 little circle things on it. Well, that's our clutch right there. And when the AC is not on, we don't want to see this thing spinning. Now the pulley will be spinning. This pulley over here will be spinning because of the belt. But this over here, the actual clutch will not be engaged, so it should not be spinning. And then when we turn the AC on, we want to see this start spinning, and then we want to see both of our fans come on. Now on this model, both fans will come on. Some older Hondas, only one, the AC condenser fan will come on, but for the most part, the majority of Hondas out there, both fans should come on also when we turn the AC on. So we want to see all that. We want to see our compressor clutch activate, and we want to see both fans working. Because if one of our fans isn't working, that can mimic the same thing as our compressor clutch stuck open. It can raise our pressures too high, especially on a hot day, and it can cause problems. Alright, how about a demonstration of what I was just talking about? There's our AC clutch down there. Hopefully you can see that it's not spinning. The pulley is spinning, but our clutch is not spinning. Let me see if I can get a better shot of that. Okay, turn the AC on. There, now you can see our clutch spinning. And both of our fans came on. So this is working properly like it should. Turn the AC off. And that's exactly how it should look. It should go on and off just like that. Now we'll do another demonstration. And in this case, I pulled the relay, so that's going to simulate a stuck open relay. So we got the engine running, and our clutch is off, and our fans are off. So we'll go ahead. Okay, turn on the AC. Now the AC is on, but you can see that our clutch is not working. But our fans came on, both of them. Okay, turn the AC off. And we can hear that our fans went off, but our clutch never did anything. So that's a demonstration on what happens when that relay stays stuck open and it's not working at all. Now, unfortunately, when these compressor clutch relays, and basically any relay, when it goes bad, they can go bad intermittently, and that's what happens a lot. And that can make trying to pinpoint, especially something on an AC system, it can make it difficult to pinpoint. Because, of course, when you bring it to the mechanic, you know that the relay is working, right? Never breaks when it's at the mechanics. But when it does go bad intermittently like that, when the AC is running, it can cause poor AC performance, similar to as if you had low refrigerant. So it's kind of cold, you know, but not cold like it really should be. I see that a lot. And obviously, you know, it can also drain your battery like we talked about earlier. And it may only drain your battery every once in a while because it's intermittent problem. So those are some things to think about. Don't forget there may be more than one issue. Like on this vehicle, we had low refrigerant, we had a bad fan, a cooling fan was bad, and the relay was bad. So there were 3 issues on this causing problems, especially that fan right there was intermittent also. So the fan was intermittent and the relay was intermittent, and that can make finding the issue very difficult. So keep that in mind. Just because you fix one thing, it may have been a problem, but there may be something else also. I definitely see that a lot when I'm working on cars. There's more than one issue, and you always have to keep that in the back of your mind. Now here's the demo of the system turning itself on and off, and this is exactly how it's designed. Let's see if I can get this shot. You can see right now it's on. Now the computer just turned it off. I'll try to turn it back on here in a second. There you go. So that's how these things cycle on and off, just like that. So it's completely normal. So that's how they should work. But when it stays on all the time and the computer's trying to turn it off, it's definitely a problem. Now, AC compressors are pretty expensive to replace. And if our AC system pressure gets too high, it could definitely damage that compressor, and we don't want that to happen. So this is one area where I don't mind if you just go ahead and put a new AC compressor clutch relay in without testing. They're fairly cheap, you know, usually $5 to $10, especially if you buy them in bulk. I think I get mine for like $4 a piece or something like that. So they're not expensive, and they're fairly easy to replace. So if you guessed wrong, you didn't spend too much time or money on it. Bad compressor clutch relays. Just something to think about if you're having poor AC performance or even a dead battery. And as always, if the video helped you out, you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.